cocaine to be on this podcast? Cocaine. Cocaine, really? Cocaine. Cocaine, really?
What's up, everybody? You're listening to yet another edition of Cocaine Willie, the official K-State representative on the College Huddle. I'm your commissioner, Bob Trollsby, and as always, actually this time, we are joined by both co-hosts, the good chef, Andre Napier, and Fireball, Matt Marchesini. Before we dive into the episode, we do first want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Anti-Maze Parlor, located at 616 North 12th Street in the heart of Aggieville. Flashing it up on the screen here. Where are my QR codes? If you go to that QR code up in the top left-hand corner of your screen, that will take you directly to antimaze.com. And when you do visit that website, you'll see their cocktail of the week this week is the Rodriguez Sour for $9, featuring Mi Campo Reposado, Boomsma Cluster Bitter, pineapple juice, jalapeno syrup, and lime juice. I have never heard of Boomsma Cluster Bitter, but sounds like a good drink. What do you guys think of the Rodriguez?
Boomsma Cluster Bitter. Oh, it's a Dutch.
It's a nice mix of, the Hispanic. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know where Chef was going to go with that, but Matt, what are you saying?
I was going to say it's a Dutch herbal liqueur from Friesland.
All right. Chef, what do you think of the Rodriguez?
My connection is garbage. I was saying it sounded like a nice mix of Hispanic heritage and a German heritage. I don't know. It's a nice hybrid. I'm all for fusion, so get me in there.
Yeah, that you are. Well, if you go to antimaze.com, you'll see a full list of their upcoming events as well. They feature comedy, live music, and all sorts of other events. Trivia Smackdown every Wednesday. At this point, I'm pretty sure it's every Wednesday. Wednesday, February 4th, we've got Trivia Smackdown. On Thursday, February 5th, we have Bikini Gordo with Delicious Friction, which we had already advertised on last week's show, but that is on Thursday, February 5th. And then Southwind is playing at Anti-Maze on Friday, February 6th. Hey, you know what Southwind is? That is the name for Kansas. So shout out to them for that great name. Pine Cocktails next Tuesday, February 10th as well with Therapy. So you know them, you love them. Check out antimaze.com. You will see a full list of their upcoming events there at 616 North 12th Street in the heart of Aggieville. Grab a Rodriguez while you're there. Grab a Wildcat Country Let's Ride koozie while you're there. Tip your bartenders and be sure to tell them Cocaine Willie sent you. Guys, things are bad. I'm not disappointed. I'm just mad.
Oh, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm the opposite of that.
We're bad.
I have no idea what's going on. I mean, it is at an all-time low.
I think I've watched. Oh man, this is a K-State sports podcast, so it is technically my duty to watch every game, right? Is that what we signed up for?
It is muster, brother.
It is funny that you mentioned that because one of our most recent reviews on Apple Podcasts, which if you're listening to this, by the way, give us 5 stars, give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. But Ema Zoomer said, 1 out of 5, I miss when these guys were good. Seems like they don't even watch the games.
Oh my God.
Pretty on the nose, pretty spot on.
Wow.
I am watching the games, to be fair. I am watching the games, but
what good can we talk about? I mean,
talking about the team, or was he talking about us?
Yeah.
He's talking
Don't
about
talk about that.
He's talking about us. He or she.
Emaw Zoomer.
Shout out to Emaw
Emaw Zoomer, come out of the woodwork and join the pod.
Mm.
You're getting an
We would
invite.
happily have you on. Yeah, shoot
We
me a
would
DM.
love to have you on the pod.
I'm
Because
down.
there's nothing good. There's nothing good to talk about right now,
All right.
basketball-wise.
I'll bite. Okay. All right. Let's talk about it.
Shit.
Where do we want to start? West Virginia, Iowa State.
Can't talk about Iowa State. There's literally
Okay.
nothing to talk about in Iowa State.
Nothing.
I mean, I've got the comments from post game after the Iowa State loss. That's what I have here. But
that's
okay.
great. I mean,
Well,
that's a whole separate thing. The post games are tough.
exactly. Yeah. Okay. You want to talk ball? You want to talk about the games? Matt and I recorded during the West Virginia game. We got to watch. I at least watched the second half. I don't know about you. I watched the second half of that game.
Yeah.
And that was an absolute disaster. Totally fell apart. And then in the Iowa State game, I mean, the first 3 minutes of the game, it looked like you maybe had a pulse. And then Chef's favorite player, CJ Jones, comes in, and then the wheels come off the wagon.
Oh, hold on. Why is it CJ Jones's fault? I mean,
Well, it's Tank's fault for putting him in and taking him back after he entered the portal.
It was technically when Lipsy had 3 straight possessions of steals. That's when it ended. That was bad. I mean, you can't. He just decided, these guys don't care about the ball. The turnovers became a problem, and then they just stretched out. I was looking at other things. I put my phone down. I turned the channel for a second. I look back up, and it's 45-15 or 14 or something insane. I'm just like, where the hell? What happened? I mean, it's insane. There's no depth on the team. There's no energy on the team. There's no cohesion. There's no good lineup that you can just count on for however many minutes. And that's not even addressing the reason why a lot of that is, not the reason why, but there's factors to it. Obviously, Moby gone. I don't know if you've touched that. Don't know if we need to touch that. He needs to stop touching that. And there's other factors. I mean, just there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And there's nothing really Tang can do, and it's his fault. So he's dug the hole, he's lined, and he left the shovel outside the hole. He can't even dig his way out of the hole. There's nothing he can do. It's the ship has sunk. And I mean, we could talk specifically about sections of the game, but it's not like the old seasons where, Tang, he didn't call timeout when they went on a run. There's nothing that he can do. He is nothing. There's nothing that anybody can do anything. This team is just not talented enough, not deep enough, not good enough. And the bad thing is he admits it. He says Iowa State's a better team. Obviously, dude. What are you talking about? Come on, let's get a grip. There's a clear dichotomy to this team where reality is obviously set in and they've just lost it.
Man. Yeah, that's really good. I mean, for as much as, they played 8 guys in this game. And, a lot of that obviously is not having Abdi Bashir, not having Kamari McGriff, obviously Rapiak, having 3 guys who were getting a good portion of your minutes, for a majority of this season. But you're down 34-11 at the 7-minute mark in the first half. This team is just broken in a lot of ways. And it starts right at the top. This is a coach right now who I think is what stage of grief are we at? It really is kind of at that point when you are listening to him in his press conference. But this is a team that from the top is just fundamentally broken. And it's, I mean, it's sad to see, obviously. We have a team that's 1-8 in the Big 12. And there's no way at this point, I think, that they're going to be able to stop this bleeding. Yeah, maybe they're going to get one or two more wins in Big 12 play when you're playing the back half of this, the conference standings the next handful of weeks. But I don't see how this team is coached out of this rut. I really don't. Um, Iowa State's a great team. I mean, I think it was very easy to, you watch them through this season. They're seventh in the country right now. They have talent, but for as much as people in the K-State community and fan base like kind of talk shit on TJ Otzelberger, fact of the matter is every single season he gets the right personnel and he coaches his team and gets them ready for Big 12 play. And they go on to do whatever in the NCAA tournament, this and that. But that's a great program. And he's done a great job of building it. And Jerome Tang has not done a good job the past 3 years. And he has done the wrong things from a talent perspective and trying to bring cohesive guys together. And it's very evident what the stages of each program are when we're watching this game on Sunday. So I just think that the program right now is just fundamentally flawed. And we're seeing it game to game. You think about the West Virginia game in the second half of that game, and it's a rock fight. You're not scoring a lot of points. I would say a better defensive effort, obviously, on our side. But the last handful of possessions in that game offensively were extremely, extremely bad. And the thought process of having PJ kind of running this offense and doing these things is just not working. It has not worked. Which is crazy because you think about the beginning of the year, and yes, PJ was scoring a lot of points, but the offense was, I think, flowing a little bit better, and it has just completely stopped in that regard. I don't know where this team goes, and with all of the media attention now being talked about Jerome Tang's contract and the buyout and whatnot, I mean, this is a team that I don't see, obviously, I don't see where the improvement's going to come in the back half of Big 12 play, but I do not see a way where Jerome Tang is going to be here next year with the way this team is playing. It just looks so poor. The effort is lacking. And I just don't see a way out of this watching it from the outside.
You mentioned Otzelberger, and the thing that I'll say to piggyback on what you're mentioning is not only is he bringing in the right personnel, he's retaining that personnel. He's got guys on that team that have been on that team. Taman Lipsey's been there, I think, since he was a freshman. He was recruited by Otzelberger out of high school. You've got Momcilovic, who I think was recruited by him out of high school. Like, these guys have been in the program for years upon years upon years. And Tang has said multiple times, he talked about it after the Drake game last year, after the loss to Drake. He talks about it in the losses to Houston. We got to do the Houston model. We got to retain these guys. We got to keep guys in the program. I agree with him, but you can't say that and then rebuild your roster every single season after the season ends and bring in these pieces that before PJ Haggerty landed in their laps, we were all saying that this roster construction didn't make sense. Everybody in K-State media, everybody with a podcast or a fan cast was saying the roster construction didn't make sense. He adds in Steven Osei, knowing that he was going to redshirt and be injured all season, wasting a scholarship spot on him. And then you go out and you get PJ. And then you go out and you get Doreen Buka because you were wish casting, hoping that Tyreek Smith's waiver was going to get approved when it was never going to get approved from the beginning. We all knew that wasn't going to get approved. It was going to take a miracle for that to happen. So he's going out in this West Virginia press conference from a week ago saying, "Oh, there's 3 guys on this roster who should be on this roster right now." And no, there aren't. If you had logic and reason, you should have hedged your bets and known, like, hey, best case scenario, we can use 1 or 2 of the leftover scholarship spots on guys that we're waiting on waivers for. Let's go out and build the team as if these guys aren't going to be here. Let's not try to just assume they're going to be part of the team. And then it's funny because your failsafe in Doreen Buka turns out to be one of the better, he's been one of the better developed players all season. You look at a guy like Buka, you look at a guy like David Castillo, and those are probably the bright spots when we look at what's actually happened. I mean, PJ Haggerty's padding his stats in every single game, but that's because nobody else around him is really worth a damn, especially when we get down the depth chart and you got Big Mac Marcus Johnson out there throwing up a prayer. CJ Jones is shooting 29% from the field. Well, he's got a lower hit rate than Punxsutawney Phil. He does. Punxsutawney Phil's right 39% of the time. CJ Jones, 29%. Just throwing that out there.
Crazy. I mean, it's absolutely insane. The roster, yeah, just the talent, the lack of it, the direction of the program. It like the signs were there and we all knew, like it was like you said, Bob, we just knew something wasn't right with how we were going about building this roster. I mean, the money's been there, all that stuff. Maybe they struck out on guys. I don't know. And then they had some fallback guys, but yeah, you can't go in thinking that you have a guy on the roster that we all know is not going to get that and then not going to make it onto the team. And then just go ahead and blame like the failures of that on this. Like it's insane. And then like throughout the season, so K-State social media has just been like blocking the comments after the scores have been posted. It's just they know it's bad. And it's just what is the answer? What do we want to happen? I think do we want a mid-season firing? That's not going to happen, right?
No.
Do we have another season under Tang? The buyout is astronomical, so that's tough to come about. I mean, there's no way. And even okay, let's get a little glass half full. I know it's really, really hard. Let's say he gets another season. What does he have to do to even get back in good graces with Kansas State fans? Because he's kind of ostracized the fans, even from the beginning, but you're winning at that point, so we can't like knock you. Like you're winning games. You stand on things, expect to win, all that stuff, like poo-poo on us crowd, the crowd rushing the court. Okay, but we're winning games, so I can't really knock you for it. But what would he have to do to get back in the good graces, if that's possible?
Win the Big 12 tournament and go to the NCAA tournament. That's the only thing that he can do at this point to get back in the good graces. I'm not kidding. That's the only thing that you can do to get back in the good graces of K-State fans. Because if you're not doing that, he's not the head coach next year. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be.
He wins in Lawrence. I mean, I don't know.
It's shades of Woolley in 2006, 2005.
I think it's just to get in the good graces. I mean, for me, I just think about like how much I love basketball, K-State basketball. This season is a absolute lost cause. And my interest in K-State basketball has decreased exponentially because of this season. I mean, I think something that we do have to think about with this program, though, and the success that we had in the 2010s, for the most part, that was a really good decade of K-State basketball. Like, you had 2 Elite Eights, you had multiple NCAA tournament appearances, but in the grand scheme of things, in a 8-year time frame, 7-year time frame, since the last time Bruce Weber made the NCAA tournament and Jerome Tang's tenure, this has not been a good program for 7 years, 8 years. It's outside of one run in the NCAA tournament where you go to the Elite Eight. I think we have such a passionate fan base that has an expectation that game in and game out, you're competitive. And we had that for, I would say, a decade or a good portion of the 2010s. And for now, we're halfway through this decade, and it is hard for me as a fan to watch K-State basketball. It is really hard.
And that's your jam.
And that's my jam, despite what some people in Apple comments say. So in the grand scheme of things, it's hard to talk about K-State basketball because it's not exciting to watch. We don't have what I would say are personalities on the team that show a passion about K-State, which I think may have something to do with the different kind of context we're in with NIL and whatnot. That's fine. But the one thing is, I don't see a culture that is being built in the program. Outside of the first year that Jerome Tang comes in, brings in a set of guys that, for the most part, were a really good team together, but they had built a culture in that first year of kind of this tough. I felt this team, it was a tough team that understood the situation that they were in, picked last in the Big 12 or one of the worst teams in the Big 12. And they found ways to win differently, scoring, this and that. There's just no culture, marketable culture with this K-State program right now. And that is the tough thing for me to watch, a team that just does not have it together and a staff that is not building something. And this is kind of what we're ended up with. A team that, it's a very apathetic group and an apathetic fan base that I think knew off the bat that we were not going to beat Iowa State 4 days before we were playing the game. And that's the hard thing to take away from it.
Before we get into Tang's post-game comments from the Iowa State game, we're going to give a quick shout out to Heartland Beef Connection, our latest and greatest sponsor. Folks, we're not talking about grocery store beef. Heartland Beef Connection connects Kansas and Midwest families directly with local ranchers. No middlemen, no industrial processing, and no mass-produced beef. I'm wearing my K-State beef hat as we speak right now. I had to do that. Had to do that for the beef ad read. A lot of these ranchers are located in Kansas, and of course, plenty of them are K-Staters themselves. That's something that means a lot to me. It's the same values, same work ethic, and they're doing it out on the land instead of on the football field, maybe even the track, maybe on the track and field. Number one in the country right there for K-State track and field right now with the indoor program. Paul Meisbach, friend of the program, started Heartland Beef Connection to help support Midwest ranchers by matching them directly with families looking to buy quarter, half, and whole beef shares. You know where your beef comes from, how it was raised, and who raised it. And here's the part that people don't expect. Not only does beef taste better, but it's cheaper per pound than grocery store beef when you buy direct. Not sure if you're the person buying groceries for your family, but when you're purchasing beef at the grocery store, it's definitely way more expensive these days than it was even a year ago. It's better quality, more transparency, and you're not paying for the middlemen or the processors. If you care about supporting Kansas agriculture, local agriculture, and keeping your money local and eating beef that tastes the way beef should, this is it. Here's the best part. Because you're listening to Cocaine Willie, you can get $25 off the Heartland Beef Connection match fee when you mention the podcast or use the code CW25. So check out Heartland Beef Connection at heartlandbeef.net. Real beef, real ranchers, better beef for your money. QR code right next to my face here will take you to heartlandbeef.net. So check them out. Chef, just a heads up, I am making beef stroganoff tomorrow after you mentioned that on the last pod you were on. So
Hell yeah.
Wish me luck.
Hell yeah.
Are you putting mushrooms in it?
Yes, I am.
Of course. How do you do? Are you like a store-bought canned mushroom kind of guy, or are you
No,
a sliced
absolutely not.
mushroom kind of guy?
Sliced for sure. I got my Takis. Baby.
Okay.
We got my Takis.
I mean,
at the
some
grocery
people
store.
are like a fan of the quartered mushroom, the halved mushroom. I mean, it's how do you like them? I guess it depends. I guess it depends on the mushroom as well.
I like to
Yeah.
slice my own mushrooms. I do my own stunts over here.
Okay. I like a good quartered mushroom, but that's just me.
Okay.
Stem on, of course.
Mm,
What do you think about pickled
Okay.
mushrooms?
Never had one.
No. The pickle frenzy. I love pickles, but we need to stop pickling things that shouldn't be pickled.
Hey,
The problem with
pickled
pickling-
mushrooms have been around for centuries. So.
The problem with pickled mushrooms, I've never had one, but I would imagine that the texture would be a little off because they're so absorbent. They probably just turn into balloons in there.
They kind of pop in your mouth. It's kind of nice.
Well.
I like a pickled mushroom. So
You caught me at popped in my mouth.
love having things pop in my mouth.
No.
Speaking of Tank's comments post game after the Iowa State loss. So just a couple of factoids here on the Iowa State loss itself. Second worst loss at home since Bramlage was built. Tang now has 2 of the worst 6 losses in school history under his belt in the last 4 seasons. It's the worst loss since 1992 at home. There are only 4 seasons all time that have started 1-8 all time in conference play, which I'm a little surprised by, to be honest. I didn't think that there would be any of those seasons when you think back, I guess maybe in the 40s during World War II when half of the viable young men were fighting overseas. They probably weren't fielding some of the best teams for K-State. But hey, Oklahoma State won a national championship in 1945. So someone's got to claim those national titles, I guess. But horrible start to the season. We're not even halfway through conference play at this point. I guess we are technically right at halfway through conference play, 9 games in. So 9 more to go. It's pretty rough, but Tang's comments on Iowa State, we'll start with his comments on the other team. They're just way better than we are. All credit goes to them. And they're physically built differently. They're just better than we are. And again, we kind of already talked about this with Otzelberger. He spent multiple years building that roster. He's got less of an arsenal when it comes to NIL revenue sharing dollars to put towards his rosters that he's had at Iowa State. So funny to me that the guy with more money and more resources is saying that the other team is just better than they are when he has had every opportunity over the last 4 years to build a roster that resembles what Iowa State's fielding, that resembles what KU and Houston have. Like it doesn't have to be to that level necessarily, but you could be just a row below it with the amount of dollars that are going into funding for this team. Yeah. Okay. Let's start with the Iowa State comments. What did that say to you that he was saying those things about the other team, about Iowa State, saying that they are that much better than the team that he has assembled at K-State?
I thought it was a very duh moment. I mean, I don't think it even needed to be said. I mean, I wasn't like overly upset about it. I don't think he should. Honestly, I don't think he should go about it saying, "Oh, we're better than we are." I don't think he should. I think at this point, I agree with saying we suck. Like maybe I don't know. This isn't his style, but like Frank used to just say we were bad, like we're not good right now, or like, I mean, Kleiman even did that, and that's a totally different sport. But I mean, he was on the precipice of doing that a couple times when the team was, it wasn't even this year; it was the prior years before that, and he would say, "Hey, we're not a very good team right now." And I can agree with that. So him saying that Iowa State's better, I mean, that's just kind of obvious. I don't think you even need to say that. So, I mean, if you're going to beat around the bush and say, hey, they're a better team than us, just say we suck. Like, maybe that'll fire the team up a little bit. I don't know. I mean, that's just in my coaching brain. I'm not one. But, like, if you want to rile this team to make them care a little bit, they're already down in the dumps. They're getting beat by 60. Hey, say we suck a little bit. Like, maybe fire these guys up. They're a bunch of mercenaries anyway. You'll never see these guys again. Fire them up. I don't know.
I mean, he's 100% correct, and I think he looks at that Iowa State team and kind of wishes he had the type of acumen of bringing specific transfers in and also developing talent inside the program that you're recruiting from high school. Because if you think of that starting five, you have Momcilovic, who has been in the program. You have Lipsy, who's been in the program. You have a freshman who has kind of been on a pretty good run the past handful of games. And then you have two transfers who have been really good. I mean, the talent eye that Altoberger has kind of built at Iowa State is a reason why he's been so successful. And I mean, can I respect the honesty that, yeah, I think there's a way of saying they're way better. I think that does fire up your team in that you have of hearing that. But it's not like he's lying. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, he's absolutely right. This is an Iowa State team that this is probably one of the best teams that Otzelberger's put together so far in his time there. He, would probably say the same if Darren Peterson played against us last weekend and he went off. I think he probably would have maybe said something similar with the way that the KU game ended up, but I don't necessarily know if I have a problem with it because I think he's showing some honesty in the grand scheme of things. Like he is being honest with it, and it's taking those comments and what are you going to do with it? I mean, I think ultimately it's what's the result of this?
To me, it's what I'm reading between the lines here of, I don't care about the honesty is great. That's fine. But what does this say about your inability to put together a roster? What does that say about your inability to recruit guys out of high school? What does that say about your inability to retain guys year over year? You've got a recruiting class with Day-Day Ames and Buddy Rich, and neither of those guys are with the program, and they're being developed in other places by other coaches. That's the one recruiting class that you had out of high school that had more than one guy in it. And all three of the guys, RJ Jones, Day-Day Ames, and Buddy Rich, they're all gone. They're all in different places now. So to me, it's fine that you can be honest about that, but we're in year 4 now, and you still have not proven that you can assemble a roster that is cohesive other than the first year. So that's what it says to me is you can be honest all day, every day. That's fine. I don't care if you're being honest. That's great. But it says more to me of, dude, I understand that you have a comprehension of the fact that you are accountable for the fact that they are better. They are that much better than we are. You are the reason why at the end of the day, coach. You are the reason why. You have the ability to control who's on this roster and who isn't at the end of the day. That's where my head goes with it. A couple other things he said. I'm not disappointed at all because I'm with these dudes every single day and I know what they're going through and y'all don't. So I was proud of these guys, especially in the second half. So it is funny, Chef, that you were like, maybe this is going to fire those guys up, but then he goes back and says he's proud of them at the same time. So in my head, I'm kind of like, you're sending mixed messages here. Well, if you got any comments on that one, and then we've got 2 more quotes to get to.
He's always been the coach, he's always been that guy that always projected faith and all that stuff. And I can get behind you being proud of these guys. You recruited them, whatever. They're in your locker room. You're taking care of them. But they're there to play basketball. I mean, if you really – now, this is no knock at Tang because, I mean, if he's doing it at K-State and this is the way he wants to do it, he's got to be held accountable because it's a higher level of basketball. But if you wanted to just, make better dudes, go down to the Y. Take that shit to the Y, dude. That's where it belongs. Like you can get a good church rec league and you can make some great men down there. But this is you're here to win. We're not here to make the best guys. No offense. I mean, I'm glad that if they're turning around their lives or whatever, they're going to be leaders in the new world. But come on, brother. Like, we got to win basketball games. It's not about being proud of them. You shouldn't be proud of the effort that they put out there because it's not good enough. They're there to play basketball, and they're not playing good basketball. So, yeah, you could be proud of them that they're, maybe great in the classroom, whatever, but I don't care. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're proud of those guys, but you got other guys that were on the roster that, I mean, technically they're still on the website that are doing some crazy shit. So.
Allegedly. Allegedly. The next two quotes kind of go together, so I'll read through those, and then I've got a few questions. But the next one, when he was asked what he was proud about with the game, he said, "It's not a message for the fans. It's a message for my players. I love these guys. They work really, really hard. They chose to come play for this university and this coaching staff, and I love these dudes. If you saw these guys the last 2 days of practice, you would have said, man, these guys are ready, but those guys are just better. And you tell them you're proud of them for continuing to fight and not quit." And then when he was asked if he needs to give a message to the fans, Mason Voth, a great reporter, friend of the pod, if he needs to send a message to the fans for how things are going to get better moving forward, he said, quote, "At the end of the season, we'll talk about that. It doesn't matter what I think because whatever I say, y'all are going to clip it the way you want to and post it the way you want to so you can get the clicks that you need. And so it doesn't matter what I say. What matters is what I'm doing with these young men on the floor in the practice every day and in their daily lives going forward. But I don't need to give an explanation to the fans, but I want them to know I'm working really hard and I'm not proud of the results, but I'm proud of the young men that I've brought in." So what do Tang's comments tell us about where he thinks the program actually is right now versus where fans thought it was?
Yeah,
I'm not becoming a Jerome Tang stan because in the grand scheme of things, I understand that where you are at in the season, you're obviously disappointed in where you're at right now. And you believe that the guys that you've brought in would be a good representative of this university, playing hard, playing with the level of intensity and expectations that you believe that you have with them when you were recruiting them to come here. I also understand being like, at the end of the season, we will be able to talk about this season. There are still, unfortunately, 9 regular season games left and at least one more Big 12 tournament game. So at a minimum, 10 games left. And it would be wrong for him as a head coach to basically be like, the season's a disappointment and we're 10 games left. Because in his mind and his coaching staff's mind, his players' mind, they have 10 games to go in the season. And they want to believe that they can win 10 games in a row and do whatever. Now, from us on the outside, we are watching the product and absolutely, like, there's no way. The way this team plays right now, there's no way this team is going to win another game. There are people in the fan base, etc. So for me, I don't take his comments necessarily in a negative light because I can understand where he's coming from, that there are 10 games left Our season is not over. Somehow they go on a run. Again, it's not going to necessarily matter from an NCAA tournament perspective. Like, I'm not saying they're going to win 10 games. I'm not even saying they're going to win 2 games. But if he has given up on the season with 10 games left, that is more of an indictment on him and his ability to lead this program. So that is how I took those comments.
Okay. I mean, that's fine to take them that way, but the reality of it is there's 10 games left in the season, and the trajectory of where the program is going, the comments that you're making, whether that's the strategy you want to take, is not working. We've heard this "I'm proud of the boys" for a long time. That's not working with this group. It's just not. And whether you think there's 10 games, there's no think. There is 10 games left. You're trying to send a message that the product that you're putting out there is not what we're going to get in the future. So you have to change it up. So if you just keep on saying, "Oh, you don't see these guys in practice, you don't know what they're really doing," I don't have to see that. That's you to see that and you to develop them and then put the best product out on the court. And we're not getting the best product on the court. So you have to do something different. And to just go out there and blatantly say, well, I don't have to say anything to you guys. Well, you kind of do, because you're beholden to us. We're the reason that you get paid the amount that you get paid. If we don't show up and we don't support you, then you're not here. So, I mean, it's all backwards. It's a little silly. No, I mean, but if you're going to go, like Matt said, if you're going to go down this way, if you're going to ride the sinking ship, maybe just ride it the way you want to, all the way to the bottom. So I don't know. I'm tapped out on Tang. I'm tapped out.
To me, the issue is he's never given us that opportunity to ask questions at the end of the season. Last year was giving his flowers to David Gasson. He said he's focused on the game. Doesn't have an end of season press conference or anything. He then goes radio silent, goes on Cyclone Fanatic. Hey, friend of the pod, Jake Bren, wasn't the one that talked to him. It was another show that did, but Jake Bren's network there. He goes and talks to those guys, doesn't give any of the other K-State podcasts any of the time of day at all. And then we don't hear from him aside from a couple Hang with Tang episodes. Like, there was no diagnosis of what went wrong last year. At a minimum, he could go out during a press conference and say something along the lines of, look, these are the 5 things I think we're doing wrong on the court, and here's how we're going to address it. Here's how we're going to flip the script. We're focusing on, whatever the thing is in practice that they're going to focus on, because XYZ, the next opponent's very good at this, and we fell short on that specific area, whether it's rebounding, defense, steals, blocks, whatever. Throw every potential thing that was ever on the play hard chart up on a big board there. But that's my thing. I would like to hear him say something about what's not going right, other than just using the crutch or the excuse of, well, they're just better than we are.
I love that, Bob. I mean, tell me why you know more about basketball than I do, and that you're diagnosing it. That silences everybody. Like, I love, this is a total tangent off of that, but like, I love when NFL wide receivers and they ask like, "Oh, why? What was?" Or a quarterback, "What was the coverage that you see?" And the layman brain can't even comprehend what these quarterbacks are actually going through. And so when they actually say it, it kind of silences it all, and it makes you realize, okay, I don't know what they're going through, but I'm going to trust what they're doing. So so if Tang just comes out and says, "Hey, we're obviously short bodies, we're trying to rotate down this," and he just starts doing basketball 101, that silences a lot of shit. For me, it would. I'd be like, okay, well, I mean, he knows that what the problems are. And it's not just, these guys are good guys and the other team was better. That's, like you said, Bob, that is not good. that makes me not want to have you as my basketball coach.
So my next question is, this has been a downward trend ever since year one. Obviously, year one, you have lightning in a bottle. You get the Elite Eight with back-to-back seasons. After that, finishing sub 500. You've got just a full list of a lot of players on there. But yeah, you go Elite Eight, NIT. I guess last year you declined an invitation to the Crown tournament, whatever the hell that was in Vegas. And now this year you start the year 10-12. You're 1-8 in the Big 12. Was year one a total fluke, or do you think there was a moment in year two where for some reason, the basketball mindedness of this program, the culture of this program, a switch flipped and things started to go down the wrong path? Like I've seen a lot of people point to the Spygate, whatever you want to call it. We had the Naquan Tomlin situation in year two as well. Year two is where it was about halfway through the season, things just kind of started to come off the rails. And things weren't quite where they were in year one or even to start the first half of the second season. Do you feel like it was just total fluke in year one, or do you feel like year two, maybe something happened that caused things to start to go off the rails and they've just never, for some reason, been able to recover since?
I think me going to Cincinnati really...
yeah, really.
The Butler game.
The Butler game, but then that was still the year we. I think I do believe he gets his flowers in year one because, outside of Marquise Noel, who obviously was the Bob Cousy Award winner, the best point guard in the country, and you could probably say what is a wild card in Keontae Johnson, like a very lucky situation that happened. I think of the guys that he brought in that class outside of those two, and that was a team that I think was really cohesive together. He brought in the right transfers. He brought in guys Naquan, was obviously a really important part of that team. David Gasson, who I think developed really well in the 3 years he was at Kansas State. I believe year one was a really solid talent evaluation and culture building year. Year two, for how Naquan Tomlin is kind of performing in the NBA right now for the Cavs, it's safe to say that Naquan Tomlin in year two would have been really helpful for this K-State team. Now, that team was not going to win the Big 12, but that team would have made the NCAA tournament. I think it's pretty safe to say. Naquan Tomlin developing in year two in that program, it would have been an NCAA tournament team. But I do think the NIL this NIL culture and era has really put a damper on, I think, what Jerome Tang was good at in year one, because year one wasn't necessarily about NIL. It was looking at transfers, looking at aspects of transfers, and it wasn't all about the money. And it does make me think in year 3 and 4, where NIL became such an important player in the basketball landscape, that his mindset of how he wanted to build a program was not the same in these 2 years as it was in year one, and I would say in year two. That is where the Naquan Tomlin situation was obviously very unfortunate in a lot of different ways. I think he would have been an important puzzle piece to that year, despite the fact that Tyler Perry, I think, was kind of playing out of position. He's not a point guard. It would have been really nice to have kind of a point guard in that offense. Am I forgetting somebody?
Wes Glover was supposed to be the point guard that year, right?
Right. Yeah.
He got hurt before the season started.
And he got hurt. I won't put too much stock into that, but I think having one main guy would have been nice. But I just think he's been caught out with the NIL piece. Like, you have K-State donors that want to build this program. They want to donate money to K-State basketball, and they're willing and able, and we're seeing that. And I just don't think the evaluation now is there. It's not looking at a cohesive group. It's kind of just picking apples and trying to see if it's working together, and it's just not. And the past 2 years, I think it's pretty evident with the guys that have been brought in that he's just not there.
Ditto, brother. I mean, I can't put up my thumb. I mean, you said it perfectly. That's probably the exact answer. I'm so dumb that I'm thinking like, oh, a specific game that it kind of went downhill. There's really no moment. I mean, just the team building aspect of it is what's kind of shot him in the foot. And I mean, it's easy to say that the team is not, it's not the best team that he's assembled when they stink. And they obviously the record is proving that. But like our first year one under Tang, when we were looking at the roster, like, I mean, maybe. And then they turned out to be really, really good. So it's not that like we can evaluate talent and, hindsight's 2020. So obviously we know they were really good. But at the time, Marquise Noel was Bruce leftover that we really didn't want him as much as we wanted what's our boy, Pack. So we wanted Pack more than we wanted Noel, and Noel turned out to be the better player for Tang's situation. So it really, I think that's all, hindsight's 2020, and we can debate that because we already know the answer. But yeah, obviously it's the evaluations have been poor, and there's been some circumstances that have been out of Tang's control. But my God, you've got to be able to field a roster that is competitive, and he just hasn't had it the last 2 seasons. So yeah, I'm not really sure where we go from here, and I don't know how we save it, because I don't think this team is getting any better, and I don't think they will. So
No, it's not. All right, Chef. You had a little game or activity you wanted to do here, so I'm gonna hand the keys over to you to cook.
Well, it's not really anything out of the ordinary. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I saw it on the Bill Simmons podcast, and I am a wrestling fan. The Royal Rumble just happened maybe 4 days ago. Roman Reigns was the winner in the men's division. Liv Morgan, the winner in the women's division. Excellent Royal Rumble. And I thought, because they were giving ideas for how they can change the NBA All-Star game, because it is a mockery of a game at this point, that they had a one-on-one tournament, knockout style, with 30 of the best, well, not 30 of the best, but 30 randomly drawn NBA players, preferably some of them all-stars or whatever. And they do it Royal Rumble style, where, you're having a match, and then bang, after somebody gets eliminated, the next person runs in, music blares and all that stuff. And I thought that would be really, really fun if we did that for Kansas State men's basketball. Now, obviously, I think we have to exclude Michael Beasley from this, because we all know that he is the one-on-one GOAT god. If you've ever been on Twitter and you've ever looked up Michael Beasley, he has some crazy shit talk, and he's probably not going to lose one-on-one to anybody that's ever played at Kansas State. So let's take Michael Beasley out of this. If I were to give you this list of names, and I'll go in random order. So the first, it just random. I'm gonna scratch the names off. I have more than 30 on here. I don't know if you want to have time for that. Maybe we could just burn through this. But it would be funny, I think, if we had this a little experiment. So I say we start the first match one-on-one. The rules are first basket wins. Then whoever is the king of the court at that time has to lose by 2 points. So the person that comes in has to score 2 baskets before the person that is king of the court scores a basket. The person that comes into the court gets the ball, King of the court has to defend for one possession, get the ball back, score. Now they keep going. Got it?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Am I
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
of my
Yeah.
depth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
I
so.
think we start off. Dennis Clemente has the ball. He has the ball first, and he is going against Xavier Sneed. Who
Wow.
wins that one-on-one, and then we will go from there.
X.
X gets
What?
Dennis Clemente has the ball.
No.
X.
Denny Clemente is winning that. He's way too quick in a one-on-one.
What was I
He's
saying? Did I say
blowing
Dennis?
by.
Denny Clemente.
Yeah.
You said Denny. You
He's-
said Dennis.
I don't
Yeah.
know why.
He's
I
not
read
an
it.
accountant.
Dennis
Yeah.
Clemente.
It's not some
Denny
middle-aged.
Clemente. Okay.
I think Denny Clemente. He's too quick. He's getting by.
I
a
literally
defender.
just grabbed the name off the list, and he has the ball first, so I'm going to go Clemente as well. I think Sneed is really athletic. He is a really good defender, but one basket. Clemente has a jumper too, so I'm going to go Clemente. You've been
See,
outruled.
I think X is going to grab onto those baggy ass shorts that they had the team wearing in
Mm.
2010.
I like that. I like that. Okay, so we've
Rucker,
got
Rucker
Clemente,
Park rules.
Clemente versus Chucky Williams.
I guess we're gonna play recency bias on this one. I don't think I've ever seen Chucky Williams take a basketball shot. I have no idea.
I haven't either.
I don't know anything about like how tall
The
he
olds
is.
are
What
going to
position?
kill us for this one.
Before
Yeah,
my time.
the
Yeah,
old-
give me Denny.
The olds are losing all of these.
The olds are going to kill us for that one. We're going Jordan Enriquez.
J.O.
He's got to
man.
score two
J.O.
baskets.
He's
J.O.'s
J.O.'s got
got-
to score 2 baskets.
He's got to score two baskets. Mind you, he
Okay.
has basically a full foot on.
I know.
I don't
Honestly.
think J.O.'s scoring on Denny. That
I
many.
don't.
That
You
many
know,
shots.
He gets the ball
Right.
first.
And he has to score.
He's just got to
2.
shoot over him.
He's got to back him in there and get the ball. Put the ball in the hoop.
If it's anything like 2010 KU, where he was nailing those shots at the elbow, then he was like 5 for 5 in that game from the elbow.
Mm.
Or was that the Florida game in 11? One of those 2 games where he's just going off.
Who are you taking?
I'm picking Jo. You know what?
J.O.
A foot difference. I think he's got it. He's just gonna get it right over him. He's backing him down, and he just got to get over him.
What do you think, Bob?
Man. Sure. Give me J.O.
All right.
Sure,
J.O.
Why not? Why not?
J.O. is
Okay.
on the list. J.O. versus Cartier Martin.
I would go Cartier Martin. Cartier Martin was very,
He's
very good.
versatile.
Put the ball in the hoop.
Yes. He was very, very good.
Cartier Martin was a doll.
I'll go with Cartier Martin as long as the next matchup is Cartier versus Cartier.
It's not Cartier. That's not the name that I looked at. I looked at David Gasson.
Yeah, Cartier Martin.
Yeah, Cartier.
I mean, mind you, David Gasson is like the all-time leader in field goal percentage at K-State. So
yeah,
it is make it take
No,
it, by the way.
I would go Cartier.
Okay, Cartier. We're going Angel Rodriguez.
Cartier. Angel is like a Aldi version of Denny, so
Yeah.
Ski Jones.
oh man.
The Ski Jones.
Yeah, that's before my time.
That's a sniper right there. 62 points
He
in a
was.
game.
I know he was.
No, I mean you can't play off of him.
I'm still going Cartier. Cartier
Okay.
Martin. I gotta look up, man, his stats, man, at K-State. No, you can keep going. I'm just
Okay. Bob Boozer.
Oh, we're going way back. Bob
The
Boozer.
Bobs, I mean, they're really going to kill us for this one.
Oh my god.
Bob
Like
Boozer.
again, I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever watched a
No,
basketball
I've never
game
seen him.
where he played for K-State in full. So he was pretty 3-point line.
I mean,
right.
here's the thing. Like, does his stuff match up in a modern day one-on-one?
Probably not. Probably not.
That's the problem.
All right, we're going
anyway.
Dean Wade versus Cartier Martin.
Ooh. Are we talking
I'm
college
going
Dean
Dean.
Wade or NBA Dean Wade?
No, we were doing college, right? Like
College.
prime college.
He was
I'm
a
going
play
Dean.
hard chart star. He was a star on the play hard chart.
He could
This
shoot
This
it.
is kind of a tough one.
He's bigger than Cartier.
I mean, Dean could just. I mean, the amount of times on like Dean Wade Friday or whoever's doing that right now that they're showing videos of Dean Wade getting steals on just pickpocketing guys. I'm like, he could just pickpocket the guy, go down and slam it. There's your 2 points.
Man, Dean Wade and Cartier Martin.
I'm taking Dean.
I'm taking Dean.
You guys win.
All right. Dean Wade versus Ioka Lee.
Just go ahead.
This is co-ed. I only have one name on there. And I thought it would be funny to have.
Dean Wade.
All right.
Sorry, Yoki. I'm going.
Sorry, Yoki.
We're going Dean Wade versus PJ Haggerty.
Well, PJ's just scoring points after the game's already out of hand, so give me Dean. Is it in the first half or the second half?
yeah. Is he down by 1 and he's got to score?
10 points.
Is he at the free throw line?
I would go Dean.
Okay. I just swear I had PJ Haggerty's name out there. It is. Javon Thomas versus Dean Wade.
Next.
Will Spradling.
Dean.
Yeah.
I got the names on the list.
That's white on
brother.
white crime. That's white on white crime.
Man.
Thomas Gibson.
Okay. Now we're getting some
Big Gip.
Dean versus
Big
Big
Gip.
Gip.
Dean.
I think it's still Dean.
Still Dean.
But that's
Still
the
Dean.
most competitive one we've had in like 10 turns.
Bill Walker.
I think Cartier Martin was.
Yeah.
Bill Walker, Dean Wade.
Ooh.
Henry Walker. Headband Walker. His prime self.
Man, so if
I'm
Bill
going Bill.
Walker's
Going Bill. I like that.
Going Bill.
I would take Dean.
I'm gonna go Bill. I'm just gonna switch it up. I don't want
Yeah.
Dean to walk away with this thing. Bill Walker, Cam Stokes.
Bill Walker.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have Jamar Samuels.
Jam Sam. Walker.
Walker.
Bill
Yeah.
Henry Walker.
Then we go in. I don't know who this name is, and they're probably gonna kill me for this. I don't know who this is.
God.
Jeff Wires.
Who the
know
fuck
who that
is
is?
that? Do you have Dick Nostman on the list too? Like, what are we doing?
Jeff Wires.
Jeff Wires. We're just gonna go Bill Walker, right?
Is Ernie Barrett on the list? This is a real
Ernie
question.
Barrett's not on here.
Okay.
Jeff Wires, 2 years at K-State. His senior year, he averaged 14 points a game.
Woo.
He shot 49% from 2.
1990.
He was a guard.
Okay, so we're not going Jeff Wires. All right, we're going Bill Walker versus Nate Johnson.
Bill
Next.
Walker.
Bill Walker.
Come
Okay.
on.
All right,
Nate Johnson in that first
all right,
game.
we-
It's like that
We're talking
MTV
downhill
show.
episode.
The MTV show, they come off the bus.
We've got some nasty names coming up. Just to let you know, I think I'm going to get rid
Yeah.
of this. I think I'm going to get rid of the next two. I am doing this myself, and I am showing favoritism. So we're going Clint Stewart versus Bill Walker.
Yeah, well, I would go Bill.
Okay, we're going Bill Walker, DJ Johnson.
If we didn't pick Thomas Gibson,
Okay,
Yeah.
we can't go DJ then.
can't go
All right,
DJ.
it's going to get nasty from here. I'll go with Bill
I'm waiting
Walker,
for it.
Ronaldo Blackman.
Yeah.
It's about to get nasty here. So we're going to, I mean, this might, I should have limited the list, but I think this is more fun to hear.
Rolando Blackman.
He was thin as a rail. Bill Walker,
He
not the
was.
best handle. He didn't have the best handle.
6'6", 190 guard.
Yoinks.
15 points a game he averaged.
He was a dog in
51% from the field.
cover of Sports Illustrated.
51% field goal percentage in college.
And Bill Walker
Was a dog. This is,
Was a
and
dog.
you're taking Bill Walker before the knees.
Yeah.
Henry Walker, Kansas State. Let's see. 6'6", 220. 16 a game. You know, I'll probably, oh man.
Bill's got 30 pounds on him.
He
I'm
does have
taking
30
Ronaldo.
pounds on him.
I'm taking Ronaldo.
Rolando.
gonna let Rolando, sorry.
I need you to
What?
say his name
I keep-
correctly.
I keep
First
saying the
time.
wrong names. My bad. I'm
I-
tripping, dude.
In a one-on-one game,
Rolando. My bad. There is a
I
L
don't
right there.
think, I don't know if 30 pounds is going to matter. I'm going to take the guy with the jump shot.
Rolando.
He could fill it up, man.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm
So now we're going Rolando
Blackman.
Blackman versus Rodney Magruder.
They could both
Rodney
fill
was
it up.
also 6'6", right? Rodney,
I think he's like 6'4". Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe he is 6'6". He was a
I thought
league
he was
guy, so
taller
I don't
than
think.
that.
Yeah. I think
No,
he
he's
might-
6'4".
Yeah.
You know, I would take Rolando.
Rolando. I'm thinking
I'm
Rodney.
sticking with that.
Okay. Rolando Blackman it is. We're going Rolando versus Marcus Foster.
Rolando.
Next.
I mean, why would you dismiss Marcus Foster like that? Rolando versus Cartier. Jada.
Next.
Rolando. Yeah.
Did I already say Barry Brown? I didn't scratch him off.
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
I see. I was
Rolando
waiting for that
Barry
name.
Brown.
In a one-on-one game, the mid-range is like the weapon.
God. It is God mode.
It is. So
And that's
I
Barry
actually
Brown
would
right
trend
there.
towards Barry Brown. with that.
Okay.
The mid-range is like your bread and butter.
All right, we're going. Are we all in agreement for Barry?
Sure. Just
I-
to keep
Yeah,
it
yeah,
interesting.
Bob. Bob, what is the strategy with the one-on-one? You pencil?
I missed
Dude, I
that.
haven't played basketball since 8th grade, so I
Okay.
no.
We're going Barry Brown versus Steve Henson.
In a one-on-one game, Steve Henson's does not compute because
Okay.
Was
he
Steve
a
was
pass
he a
guy.
point guard? Was he a point guard?
He was.
Yeah, he was under Kruger.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going Barry Brown versus Jacob Pullen.
Man,
Pullen.
that stinks. Yeah, I probably would. Shoot.
All right, Pullen.
Leading scorer for K-State. Yeah, give me
Barcelona legend himself. We're going Jacob Pullen Marquise Noel.
Oh my God. In one-on-one, I might
In
go
one-on-one.
Keith. I
Going
might go
Keith?
Keith because he will fucking dribble it beneath his shorts and go after him like
He's got to score 2 points in a
Rucker
row.
Park.
Marquise has got to score 2 points in a row.
He can do that.
Is it sacrilegious if we pick him?
I don't know. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It does have to be 2 in a row. My bad. I was about to say something. My own rules.
Shooting is a really big key with this.
Marquise
And I
could
think
shoot the shit out of that thing.
He
From
could,
deep.
though.
From deep.
Yeah, that's true. You're gonna go Marquise, Bob.
I think I'm going Marquise.
I am gonna
here.
go Jake. So
I'm gonna
Chef
go
is
Jake
gonna
as
get to this.
well. I'm gonna go
Okay.
Jake as
Yeah.
well. I'm gonna go Jake as well. Okay, we're gonna now. I set this up on purpose. It is my game. We're going Jacob Pullen, Keontae Johnson.
I would go Jake.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
I would go
I was
Jake.
gonna go
I would go
Keontae.
Jake. I
Okay,
would
and
go
then
Jake.
finally, we're going Jacob Pullen, Mitch Richmond.
Yeah, this is what I was waiting for.
And I honestly thought about keeping Mike Beasley in there just so I can have Mike Beasley versus Mitch Richmond. I didn't know if that would. I still think we would all pick Mike Beasley, but we're final round. We are at Jacob Pullen, Mitch Richmond.
Mitch Richmond in his senior season, 23 points a game. He was 51% from the field. Shot 47% from three.
Dang,
I'd kill
what?
for that right now.
Wow.
He did what?
From three, he shot 47% from three.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Three. I mean, it was 40. I mean, it was obviously a little bit of a different game, but he was 46 of 98 from three. And he was 222 of 423 for twos.
Oh my God.
He was a 6'5" guard.
I mean, 50%, that's nuts. I'm going to take Mitch Richmond. I'll let you guys fight it out.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to bring him up, and I was wondering where in this whole thing, because he would be, if you were going to seed this out, if you're going to seed out the 64 K-State players to play against each other, he's probably a number one seed.
Right,
Yeah.
but the thing about it is when you get these Royal Rumbles, and I'll give you a little insight onto the wrestling aspect of it. When you have these Royal Rumbles, sometimes you do have the star in the middle of the thing, and he goes on a long run, but he's tired at the end. So you get some guys that are fresh right behind the curtain that comes out there, and it might be an upset. So I know, obviously, in this basketball scenario, there's really no way that we could do it. We're just kind of picking our favorite players. But, like, if you really wanted to do it, he's Mitch Richmond. If he had to play, like, name 20, and he still has 14 guys or 10 or 15 guys that he has to go against, that's a lot of one-on-one basketball that you have to play, and maybe he loses towards the end to somebody that's maybe not as good. But
Hey,
I think
Pullen went what, like 8 or 9 in a row before he got to Marquise. I think that could be advantage Marquise in that situation. But we already made our decision.
I agree. I think we didn't do the due diligence that we should have with this, but I think we kind of just picked our favorite players. But like when we were dismissing, like who did we dismiss really, really bad? We dismissed
Marcus Foster, you were upset about?
Yeah, we dismissed Marcus Foster, like, okay, like he can't score 2 baskets. Marcus Foster was an animal for us, dude.
And for the record, Marquise Noel is not my favorite player between him and
absolutely
Pullen,
not. But I mean, I kind of seeded this because I think we're not going to give, this is kind of just the end of the road, kind of end this podcast with it. I mean, if we wanted to do this a separate time and really go into depth about it, it would be fun. But
so you're telling me Mitch Richmond fresh? Yes, yeah. Give me.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have done that. But Mitch Richmond off the bench, fresh as a daisy versus Jacob Pullen, who's had a lather for 8 guys. Pause. Yeah, I think Mitch Richmond wins this pretty easily. But yeah, I mean, if I seeded this and randomly drew it out of a hat, maybe it would have went different. But
I think
Wow.
that's my game.
I think Scott's gonna enjoy that game whenever he listens to this. By the way.
And Judge.
He's
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
Well, he's gonna kill me for the two names that I butchered. I don't know how.
Yeah, he
them
well
written-
deserved.
I have them written down right here, and there's clearly an L, and I said Ronaldo.
No wonder why we get bad comments. People 1-star reviews because we can't pronounce basketball players correctly.
They don't even
Basketball
watch the
legends
games,
too. Basketball legends too. Rolando.
Oh my
Rolando.
gosh.
Said that so
It was a
many
fun
times.
game. That was a fun game,
That-
Chef. Okay,
that
now
was
we got to
good.
do it for football with an Oklahoma drill. So we're going to do that on the next pod. So put the list together.
All right. So the way the next handful of weeks are going to go, Chef is going to have to come up a game for every episode because it's just going to be 40 minutes of bashing, and we need something fun at the end.
It's off-season content already. It's so
Yeah.
bad, but we're gonna spare your ears for having to listen to us for the rest of the day. So that's gonna do it for us today. Once again, shout out to our sponsors, Auntie May's Parlor, as I get the QR code up here to promote their business so you can see what they've got going on there. Check them out, auntiemays.com. Also, Heartland Beef Connection. That's the second QR code you're seeing on your screen there now. You'll get $25 off of your match key when you mention the Cocaine Willie podcast or use promo code CW25. That's CW25 on their website. We also have our merch store up at cocainewillie.com. You can buy Wildcat Country Let's Ride merch. You can also pick that up at the bar at Auntie May's when you go there in person. And we are the K-State representative on the College Huddle, the largest community of fan-driven content in the nation. Check them out at thecollegehuddle.com. Follow them on social media at College Huddle. Last but not least, you can follow our show at Cocaine Willie on social media or follow us individually. I'm at Bob Trollsby. Chef is at Chef Andre Napier, and Fireball Matt is at Matt Marchesini. Chef.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, baby.
We are all coke and
I've
no
been
joke,
missing
Wildcat
that.
Country.
I've been missing that.
We're all
Welcome
coke and no
to
choke.
Wildcat Country. Let's rock.